Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Tooele Happy Hour podcast starring Jared Anderson and David Weiss. Today's guest, it's a very special guest. He's doing something very amazing. I want you all to meet Mark Herrera. Now, Mark, you're raising money for the Jordan Byrd Foundation. You're trying to support a local hero and someone who's very special to our community, especially me. I commend you for that. You're amazing. Mark, introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Herrera, and I am the chair and co-founder of the 911 Community Bowl.
So you were explaining to us before this. So your 911 Community Bowl is where first responders.
Yep. Local first responders. Yep.
Yeah, have a competition against each other. You guys are going to play flag football.
Yes, sir.
So you got the firefighters versus the police.
Yep.
And you're a paramedic, but probably with the fire department.
No, actually, so we actually do medical in general. We don't just do fire.
Okay.
So I have doctors, nurses, medical billing staff, paramedics, EMTs, all on my team.
Okay, so you're the EMT side, the medical side, and then the law enforcement, they're going to show up their game, and you guys are going to play a game of flag football.
Yes, sir. Yep. And so the whole event is it will base around that game. Friendly flag football game. Law versus medical, very similar to the big foundation of Guns and Hoses. And we play and we just raise money. Every player has to pay to enter. You have to pay to enter the event. And we also do a silent auction at the event. That's what we bring up.
It's an event where people come watch the event, but they pay at the door to get in.
Yep.
You've also got sponsorships going. You were saying the Jazz is sponsoring.
The Jazz have sponsored. Real Salt Lake sponsor. We've had Ryobi sponsor. Literally anybody, and we did ask, and people are good and they want to donate, and so we've had people sponsor from out of state, out of country.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I dig it. And so every year, this is your fifth year, you said?
Fifth year, yes, sir.
So every year you find a needy family.
A family or a business.
And you say, we're just going to do this to sponsor them and uplift our local community.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole goal is how can we get the community together for a local business or family and to do something good. So the first year we did it for McKenna Roberts. She was had diagnosed at 14 and passed away with Ewing sarcoma. And it was really, I was just sitting in the ER and I was like, how can we raise money for this little girl? And I got a bunch of, because I was in law enforcement for about 5 years. So I have a bunch of friends in law enforcement and medical. And I was like, let's just get together and see what we can do. And we raised $5,000. And we're like, wow, this could be something. So the second year, we did it for Alyssa McClellan. She also had Ewing sarcoma and left behind a small family. And we actually had a lot more time planning. And then I think that year we raised about $8,000 to $10,000.
And something like that is fantastic, that it helped pay for their medical bills that they leave behind. Because, cancer leaves behind
too many.
A heavy medical bill load.
Big imprint, yep. And it's like, if we can do something small that can maybe pay one bill, that's just better than nothing, right? So that's what we say. No donation is too small. We always say, if you want to give $5, fantastic. We've had people go up to over thousands of dollars to donate. So it was just so great. And so then we were like, after Alyssa, let's try to do a foundation. Like, let's go to a business. And we did the Children's Justice Center of Tooele, which impacts hundreds and thousands of lives. And it's local here in Tooele. And that was when we really hit off, and we were like, we probably need to become a nonprofit because we made $15,000. And we're like, whoa. So we got an attorney, and we actually became a full-on nonprofit. And ever since then, our fourth year, which was last year, we did it for Richard Baker. He just recently, unfortunately, passed away from cancer. And we raised $16,000 for him. So our fifth year, which is this year, we're doing it for another foundation, which is the Jordan Byrd Foundation. And the money raised, and there's the shirts we're going to do.
Pull up the shirts he brought over. Dave, of course, is wearing his, so everyone can see the front.
So we'll sell those at the game. You can actually buy them before the game as well, and I'll let you guys know our Venmo.
We've got the back, Jordan Byrd.
Yep. So that is actually the sign if you notice going down to Grantsville, that's the sign they painted for Jordan. And so I worked with Jordan's family. Jody was one of the Jody and Jen and Abby and all of them, and Kylie. I've worked with all of them, and we're like, hey, I want to make the shirt that we could sell. Because I would love to paint the crowd white, right? Like I would love them all to wear this shirt because, you know, you have to pay to get the shirt, but that's just raising money for the foundation. And if we can if I can look up and just see everyone in white, it's like, oh, that's amazing. So our goal is to raise money for Jordan Byrd Foundation, which gives money to high school kids just graduating, like get into like a tech school, college, et cetera, et cetera.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Do you have a special sponsor who makes the shirts for you?
Yeah, so this year actually, and I'm hoping and planning to go through this person every year, is actually Jordan's uncle, John, and he owns Logo Wear.
Oh, okay.
And so Logo Wear is just based in Tooele. I'm like, that's what it's all about, right? Like a local company, big, making this for our local foundation, a fundraiser. So I'm planning on going through him every year. So Logo Wear, shout out to John. He made our player shirts, and he made.
So you guys got some jerseys going?
Oh yeah, we got jerseys going. So very similar quality, but it has our logo. This is our foundation's logo. TC United this year, the soccer league, they also sponsored our shirts, and so their logo's right here, and then it has numbers on the back. And it's cool. We did for the jerseys this year. We put Jordan Byrd on the shoulder because that day, I really like the idea of that day. Everyone's Jordan Byrd. We're supporting Jordan Byrd. Everyone's gonna be Jordan Byrd on the field that day. So I'm really excited.
Dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So all of us it'll be red versus blue. So Law's blue and we're red.
So a super shout out to John of Logo Wear, of Tooele, who is related to Jordan.
Yep.
And you know that's how we keep things local here in Tooele. We try to support each other and make things happen.
How do you guys how do you find what you're going to support? What's the process?
So we really just kind of keep an ear open, and we just keep looking around throughout the year. So next year we don't know. So
like you'll have a meeting February, March, and you'll just say, look, here's some names that's been put forward.
That's exactly what we do. So I ought to shout out my board. So it's me and Seth EU. He is a doctor out in Georgia. He was one of my partners on the ambulance when he was my co-founder. He's still on my board. Cody Valdez is my brother-in-law, and he's on our board, and he's very involved. He's now the athletic director for Tooele. So, and then Shelly Brown, she actually is Salt Lake based, but she does our donations, and she is tenacious. I mean, once we got her on, we started making a lot more money because she is getting all these donations.
She knows how to do it.
Oh my gosh, she has the gift of gab, and she is tenacious. It's unreal.
So for your first year, you didn't have her on board?
It was just me and Seth. And then also my brother-in-law Cody. I was like, hey, can you help? Because so it was really we didn't know what we were doing. We
That's
were just
still a lot. $5,000 brought in.
We only did it in about a month. Where I was like, because I had just played in the Guns N' Hoses game. And I was like, let's do something like that, but let's just do medical versus that way I can get nurses, docs, whoever, medical. And we made $5,000. And I was like, and you know what's really cool? At halftime, we fly in, in the beginning of the game, we fly in whoever on Air Med and they land us the ball. So Air Med lands in the middle field.
That is awesome.
Delivers the ball. And we usually have whoever we're supporting fly in. So Aiden, Jordan's son, is going to be flying in with the ball. And he's going to hand us the ball. And I tell you what, when they land, that is the tearjerker moment right there.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yes, and it's so amazing because we get all the players lined up. We have referees, we have announcers, we have a halftime show, and it's all local. It's all local people, cheerleaders, dancers, etc. We just want it to be a big family community event. How can we get all together to do something that we normally wouldn't do? Right.
Right.
Yeah, so to answer your question, we don't know what we're going to do next year, but we just kind of keep an open eye, open ear. We're like, hey, could it be a family or not? We don't really take recommendations, but we are enough into the community that we know, like we just knew of Richard, and we're like, we're going to do this. And I really don't ask for permission. I usually approach the people and say, hey, I'm just so you know we're going to do this. Can I just use your name or not? Because people they feel bad. They typically are like, I don't need this. I'm like, no, listen, I'm doing it.
So how did that go? With whom did you approach? about doing this?
So the last one that I can remember, Richard, rest in peace. Richard just passed away just recently from his long battle. I remember going to Richard. He was our last year's sponsor, and I was like, we talked to our board, and we're like, we're going to do Richard. Richard has a bunch of little kids, like three little kids. He left behind a wife, local boy, and I was like, we're going to do it for him. This is exactly what we're doing it for. He's battling cancer. We're going to do this. And so I went to his house, and I was like, hey, we're going to do this event for you. And he's like, I don't, he wasn't sure. And I was like, we're doing it. So can I just use your name or not? Because I'm doing it. And he's like, and so then he embraced it. He was really excited. And I think what hit home the most, while we were getting donations, I had a big donation from Connecticut, because that's where I lived most of my life. It was $1,000. And I told Richard, I'm like, hey, we just got $1,000 donation, And he was like, why? He's like, they don't know me. I'm like, because people are good. People want to help. People, when they have the opportunity to help and they can, they will. And it's just, that is what just hit home. And that's what it's all about. Like, just showing Richard, showing these sponsors, like, hey, people want to help you. And if I can help plant that seed to start this help, let's do it. And that's what that foundation's all about.
Dude, that is awesome. That really is. I think that's it's awesome that you guys come up with the idea. It's awesome that you run with the ball on it. Yeah. It's awesome that it's successful.
It's awesome that you chose Jordan this time.
I'm really excited.
It's an important event then for our community.
I want it to be, it's all, I tell the family, I told Jody, Jordan's aunt, who I've been really working with, I was like, I want to maintain Jordan's legacy. That's what it's all about. How can we let his legacy go on? Now it's been over 10 years now, right? 2010 is when he passed away. And so gone but not forgotten, right? So how can we make his legacy stay? And also, I said, Jody, once we start, this is a business for me. Not that I make money, but we're making money for this foundation. So we're not going to take no for an answer, but we're going to ask people. We have no shame in our game. Like I said, we ask everybody. I've even reached out to Post Malone, but I didn't hear a response. But Shelly's the same way. We just reach out, like, hey, do you want to be a part of this?
Well, let's take a minute and tell the story of Jordan. He's a young guy, high school in Dugway, joined the Army, Army medic. He was a combat medic. Ended up in the first of the 506th.
Going to Afghanistan?
Into Afghanistan. First, he ended up at airborne or air assault.
Yeah, air assault. That's right.
With the 101st. I think he was first 506, first 503rd. Which, if anybody here knows military terms, that means he was a part of a light infantry unit. He was in Afghanistan as a medic responding to a wounded soldier. He took, and if anyone out there is listening and you know what regiment he was in, please let me know. But he got hit then and sadly lost his life. And he left behind a young wife and
little boy.
And the son, I don't think he ever met his son, correct? I think if he met him, or
he got to meet him once.
I think 2 weeks, when he was 2 weeks old or something like that. Yeah, it was very brief. Yes,
he got to meet him, and it's very sad deal. I remember it was a huge deal out here in Grantsville. His funeral's in Grantsville. I went to his funeral, and he had a major general speak at his funeral, which is pretty big deal. That's a 2-star general. And but he was like our first real local person to die in foreign combat since, I want to say, since Vietnam.
It's been a long time. Yeah, he's a local hero. You're right. And he paid the ultimate sacrifice. And it's like, there's nothing I could do that could like repay for what he did for us, right? But that's just part of his legacy, right? He's still here. He's still in our hearts. And this foundation is going to be able to help some kid or multiple kids, depending on how much money. What we do is, once we raise this money, we're going to give it to the foundation, and they get to choose what.
And that's the thing. This is kind of a double whammy, because you're giving to a foundation. The foundation supports multiple people. This might have a huge spread. Jody said,
Jody, yes.
He met Aiden for 4 days before he had to leave. You know, and so that is a heavy deal, you know.
Yes.
And I mean, he went down running to support one of his comrades, one of his brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ultimate sacrifice, like why we are here today, why we can do all these things, right? Why we have this speech. And so I'm just so excited. It was a no-brainer. Once we thought of Jordan, it was actually my wife who thought of it, because my wife's, she was like, we should do Jordan Byrd Foundation. I'm like, yep, that's it. And that's how it happens. We just kind of think of something that pops up, and we brought it to the board, and the board was like 100%. Like, this is a no-brainer.
I remember he wanted, if I remember right, he wanted to be a doctor. So that's why he went in to be a medic, and his mom is in the medical field, his sister's in the medical field. So, we lost a lot in Jordan.
Yeah, we did.
A lot.
And so I'm just excited that we'll be able to see Aiden fly in, and and his family's going to be there. They'll help us. It's a whole kind of a long day event, because we do the setup, and then at the very end we have the fireworks. It's not even about football. I mean, that's how I get a bunch of the players, and that's the event is built around it. But it's the whole entire event, right? Like, so doors open at 6 in Grantsville. They can come in. They can start bidding on items. And then the game starts at 7. Hard stop at 8, and then boom, we have fireworks going.
Can people donate items to be bid on?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's lay out where people get a hold of you if they want to make a donation.
Yep.
If they want to donate just cold hard cash, or donate something for the bid, donate their time or a service, whatever. Where do they go?
So they can email me. We can actually put it into the chat if you want, or they can Venmo. So if you want to put the chat in, I'll tell you that our email. Actually, I'll just have you use my.
We'll put that in the notes for sure.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes.
So essentially, they will be able to. They can email us, and I manage the email. Our team manages the email. They can donate anything. They could also go to our website, which is 911communitybowl.org, and our website is there. You can actually donate right on there. Yep, 911 Community Bowl.
It's a cool name too.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I like it. I was like, crap, we had to get rid of the Super Bowl name, because our attorney wants me to make it a nonprofit.
If the NFL goes after you for that, I would say they're the biggest.
Yeah. So if you go down, so cool. So now if you look on,
fantastic.
So it's our whole, and we always edit it for every year. So we have all the information on Jordan.
We're going to throw this up here.
Yeah, all the information on Jordan's up there. And if they essentially just click on Support Jordan Byrd, they can donate right through our website. Just today, we had a donation of $500.
So they can just jump on. Yep. They don't have to make it through the football game or anything.
They don't have to come. They can do it before. They can even Venmo. We have a business Venmo as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. So
right now, support Jordan Byrd Foundation, and then next year it'll support
be whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And we have all our past stuff. All the stuff on Jordan's on here. All our board members are on here. Kind of what the past ones we've done. But yeah, so right now, if people want to support, they can, 1, come to the game. They can, 2, just go to our website, and they can actually donate via website. There you'll get those are all our past sponsors right there.
Okay.
McKenna was the first one.
Oh, she is so young.
Yeah, and then Alyssa McClellan, Twilla Justice Center, and then Richard was the one who just passed away. He just passed away less than a month ago. Yeah, and so
that's heavy.
I know it.
Does anyone famous ever come out and say, "Hey, can I play in the bowl"?
No. And so this is how you can play. So I create the teams. I keep it very local. It has to be either you have to live out here, or work out here, or have like roots out here, right? So all the medical and law enforcement players have roots in Twilla County. They're not people from Salt Lake or anywhere else, because I really want to be it's local boys and girls that are playing. This year on the medical, and we do boys and girls. So this year on the medical team, I have about 7 girls on the team, about 7 boys, and then on law, I have about 5 girls playing, and about, I think, 10 boys. So I'm really excited. They're all local.
So it's a good mixed co-ed team. It's all for fun.
Yeah, all for fun. I really do a big speech, and before I'm like, hey, please, let's not try to hurt each other.
So are you playing? Are you running?
Yeah, I play every year. Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah. So or they can come to the game and bid on items. And like I said, Ryobi donated like $5,000 worth of stuff last year. It was like a lawnmower. It was insane.
That is wild.
We have great stuff. We have signed basketball from the Jazz. Jordan, I think his name is Jordan Clarkston from the Jazz. He actually has a signed picture that he'll be there. People can bid on that. Just entering into the game is sponsoring the event, because it's $5 to enter.
Yeah.
That alone, I'm so thrilled. Just people just to show up and come be a part of it.
So Mark, like if Tom Brady ever called you and he's like,
I'm gonna be like, yeah, you
come
can
on,
play.
let me play.
Yes. I'm gonna be like, yes, you can play. Yeah. I would love, actually.
Who would you find to play on the other side?
I know, right? That'd be a tough one.
Right?
You'd be like, you can play, any experience in the medical field.
Exactly. And I really get pretty lenient. Like, hey, do you have any roots out here? What do you do in the medical field? Medical billing? Okay, you can play. Like, I really try to.
Well, and you should.
Yeah.
You should, because this is uplifting for the community if someone wants to step up.
Yes.
Well, meat and potatoes time. Yeah. When is the game?
So the game is August 19th, which is next Saturday, 6 to 9, Grantsville High.
6 to 9.
Yeah, so doors open at 6, and you could the football game actually starts at 7.
Okay.
Aiden will be landing in at 6:45ish.
Okay.
On Air Med, so that's where people if you want to get there to see that, that's usually a big people love. I mean, that is a tearjerker.
So you've got the hour beforehand where people can come in and mingle, get prepped. You're going to give a speech.
Yeah, the players start warming up. You can see them all on the field warming up.
So he's going to land with the ball 6:45. Game starts just before 7.
Yep, and then we usually do a hard start on the game at 8, and then fireworks start. I have to shout out to Lantis Fireworks in Salt Lake. They donate since day one, and it's big time fireworks. The players, when they run through, there's fireworks for players.
Oh, you have like the the football stuff,
the arch of fire.
Yes, they have fireworks.
Awesome.
I mean, Lantis Fireworks, so they are fantastic. They've donated every single year, and they look forward to it.
Dude, I'll bet.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, they're big time fireworks.
Is Atlantis Fireworks?
No. That's who.
What's the name of the business?
Lantis Fireworks.
Okay, so I mean, these are all things to know because next 4th of July, I'm going to look for their fireworks.
Oh yeah, they are fantastic. It's big fireworks, and so we actually, the fire department's involved. They have to get permits and everything.
Oh yeah.
And so the event fully ends at 9. But that's when we start wrapping up, and that's actually when we start counting the money. All the money. It's like, hey, we announce like, hey, this is how much we made. So our goal this year is $20,000. If we make only 5, I'd be happy. But I will tell you this right now, in hand, we already have over 4. And so the last 2 years, based off our history, if we go into the game having at least 5, we make about 10 at the game. So we're on track to make at least 15. So I'm really excited. We're rooting for $20,000. So
Mark, did you have to get insurance for this?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep, we get insurance. Luckily, Grantsville High this year, we were able to purchase the field and insurance at the same.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's fantastic. Yep.
Fantastic, and that's really cool that you've got the life flight's going to land.
Yep, they're going to land.
I mean, I imagine that Jordan's son, now that he's coming of awareness age, he's carrying a bit of a burden on his shoulders.
For sure.
The community wants to step up and help, and I'm sure he's coming into this wide-eyed.
Yep.
But he gets to ride in a helicopter, which is cool.
He gets to ride in a helicopter. I asked him if he was okay. We were either going to do him or his mom, but he's willing to do it, and I was like, "Sweet, let's do it."
Man, I'll bet he's not just willing.
Oh yeah, and
13-year-old get a chance to ride in a helicopter.
Yeah, and he gets to bring us the game ball, and then we all sign it. All the players sign it, and we give him the ball. So they can. So every sponsor, whoever we do, we give them the game ball that's signed by all the players for every year. So it's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Are we going?
Yes, of course we are.
Awesome.
We're not going to miss that. Not going to miss that for a second.
It's really fun.
Well, Mark. So throw out, just so it's on audio record, the email address to get a hold of you, the website again. All the contact info so people can sign up.
So the website is 911communitybowl.org. The Venmo is our business Venmo. It will say my name on it, but it's our business Venmo is at communitybowl-911. I'll also list my number. You could always text me if you have. Sometimes we just get people that text because they just all that electronic stuff is just driving them nuts. My number is 801-232-9138. You can always text me if you just said, hey, you know what? I have cash. I want to donate. And we'll take care of it from there.
All right, everyone. You got that information. Get out and support it.
August 19th.
Next Saturday. So be ready. Next Saturday, Grantsville High School. You're going to have all the information for this in the show notes, the address for Grantsville High School in the show notes, everything else. Get out there, support it, bid on, everything. Sounds like there's going to be some good stuff to bid on.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year I'm shocked. I don't even fully know what there's going to be there. There's tons of gift cards. Shields donated a ton of gift cards. Local businesses donated a bunch of gift. It's crazy. There's tons of stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, that's outstanding. Mark, thank you. Thank you for this idea.
Thanks, Mark.
Stepping up to the plate, being a pillar and all that stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, so Mark Herrera. And that's the show for this week, right, Dave?
I like it.
That's it. All right, let's play some darts. We will see you guys next week, unless something comes up earlier.